Making It Grow is brought to you in part by Santee Cooper, South Carolina's state-owned electric and water utility. More information on green power and energy conservation programs online at santeecooper.com. The South Carolina Department of Agriculture, certified SC Grown, helps consumers identify, find, and buy South Carolina products. McLeod Farms in McBee, South Carolina. This family farm offers seasonal produce, including over 22 varieties of peaches. McCall Farms, helping South Carolina grow with brands such as Bruce's Yams, Peanut Patch, Glory Foods, and Margaret Holmes. FTC Diversified, a proud part of your local communities, providing communication, entertainment, and security. Additional funding provided by International Paper and South Carolina Farm Bureau Federation and Farm Bureau Insurance.
Good evening and welcome to Making It Grow. As you can see, we're changing things up a bit this evening. We're giving the phone lines a break, and we're going to highlight the SCETV online holiday auction. Now, even though things are different, there's something you can still count on, and that's being able to participate in the online discussion in the chat room.
That's right, Teresa. I'm Katie Ottman, Water Resources Agent for Sumter County, and I'll be in the chat room and checking in on the online auction all night long. If you haven't been into the chat room before, I'll tell you how to do that in just a little bit. But for now, let's start Making It Grow.
Hello and welcome to SCETV's Making It Grow. As I mentioned, things are different this evening. I'm Teresa Lott, a Water Resources Extension Agent with Clemson Extension, and tonight I'm filling in for Amanda, but don't worry, she will be back soon. Tonight we have a lot of items to highlight as part of SCETV's online holiday auction, and with me is Susie Ellison, part of the South Carolina Specialty Foods Association. Now, before we talk about all of these wonderful items, let's remind our viewers what exactly is the Specialty Foods Association.
Specialty Foods Association is 100+ members of South Carolina's finest entrepreneurs from every corner of the state and every place in between. And they have every product from A to Z that you can possibly imagine.
Everything but the kitchen sink?
Everything but the kitchen sink.
Well, I'm looking forward to explaining more about the items in front of us. But before we get into that, we're not the only ones on the show this evening. We have Extension Agent Tony Melton joining us with a special guest. Tony, what do you have in store for us this evening?
Well, thanks, Teresa. Yes, we have Jackie Moore. She's with the South Carolina Department of Agriculture, the Agritourism Association. Tell us a little bit about that, Jackie.
Yeah, the South Carolina Agritourism Association are farmers around South Carolina that invite people onto their farms for fun or education to do different activities on their farm. So they open their farms up to the public.
Oh, that sounds like my job. I get to go visit farms and see some great things happening.
Yeah, and everybody out there can do the same thing. So we have a program called the Passport Program. It started in 2016, and this is our second year, and we're going into our third. But if you look at the passport up front and the reddish brown one, that's 2016. So all you have to do is pick up a passport at participating farms, have them stamp their page, and then send it back to me by January 15th, and you'll win prizes.
What kind of prizes,
Well,
Miss Jackie?
you can win a certified South Carolina hat, T-shirt, or tumbler, and that depends on how many stamps you have, what prize you win.
So the more stamps, the more prizes.
The better the prize,
Oh,
the
wow.
more valued the prize. But if you have at least one stamp and send it back to me, then you'll be in a drawing for $100 worth of Susie's Specialty Food Association products.
Well, that
so
sounds
one
good.
stamp, and that would be enough that you may be a winner. And next year, we're already getting ready for next year, and they're the green ones up front. They start January 1st. You'll get a green one, and you'll go visit the farms listed. It's a lot of fun. You get to see farms. You get to learn where your food comes from, and you can also win prizes.
Oh, wow, and you get to have some of those nice specialty items.
Right.
Oh, wow, that's wonderful. I love food.
We have over 300 farms in South Carolina that invite you onto their farms.
Oh, wow.
So they're all over the state. And we'll talk about some of the neat things that people have donated for the auction.
Sounds like a winner, folks. You need to be bidding online. It's right there on SCETV, bidonline.org for these great products. And we're going to go on over to Katie Altman with the chat room.
Thank you, Tony. If you would like to log into the chat room, it is a great way to chat online with other viewers of the show, and it is really easy to do. All you'll need is a computer or a smartphone and a Facebook account. So start by heading over to Facebook, where you'll click on the Making It Grow chat room icon on the left side of the screen, which will bring you to a window similar to this one. You'll click in the yellow dialog box at the bottom to log in with your Facebook username and password, and then you can join in on the conversation. And while you're online, head back over to the Facebook page for Making It Grow, and you can click on the link for the online auction. If you don't have Facebook, you can go to SCETVbidonline.org and take a look at some of the items up for auction. Make sure when you go to that link, you come down to the bottom left and click over here where it says As Seen on Making It Grow. You can see all of the items that they're talking about tonight on the show, as well as a few others. To learn more about these items, let's head back over to Tony and Jackie.
Okay, thank you, Miss Katie. Let's talk about some of these products. Some of these great South Carolina products.
We
have
over 17 different farms participating tonight to help support ETV, South Carolina.
Wow.
ETV. So I'm very proud of our farmers who will donate for this. And we're going to start first with over here, and this is our winery.
Okay, I love vineyards. They're great to go tour and just so easy when you sit there. You just feel so easy, and it's so wonderful to be sitting in a vineyard, and then they have a lot of things I think about what you can do at that winery.
Yes. Well, this one we're talking about tonight is Mercer House Estate Winery. He has donated 2 bottles of wine for our auction. Now, Shannon does his making his wine a little bit different. Everything that is in the wine is from his
right
vineyard,
on the farm itself.
right there, whether
Wow.
it's kale or jalapenos or the grapes, of course, everything he grows. And the nice thing is that he is growing it with no chemicals, no preservatives. He is doing it all organically, although maybe not certified organically, but he is doing it all to think about your health when you drink his products. But he has some interesting wines, and tonight
Yes,
we
you were
have
telling
one.
me some of
This
those.
is called Bloody Mary wine. It's got tomato, kale, jalapeno, and Worcestershire
Oh, wow,
in it.
that sounds interesting.
It does. I guess it tastes like Bloody Mary. I haven't tried it. And then this other one, of course, that sounds good. Anybody who likes to drink coffee, it's fruit spice coffee wine. It has coffee, jalapeno, and white grapes. So these are just 2 of his. You can visit his farm. In fact, if you have a passport for this year, you can go and he can stamp it for you, stamp his page. Every Wednesday night, he has a really neat thing called Sip and Draw, where you go and draw and you sip on wine. And I'm thinking your drawing's going to get a little wilder as the evening goes on. But he has a lot of stuff going on. He has an active Facebook page, so I encourage people to go see Mercer House Estate Winery.
So I think up next is Walker Century Farms.
Yeah, that's one of our century farms. It means it's been in the family for over 100 years.
Wow.
And it is run by Nancy and William Walker. They're in Anderson, South Carolina. And their sustainable and organic production practices they use to raise their Devon cattle, and they have pork. Okay. But they use, another thing is to know your farmer. You know how they produce their products, so you know whether they're safe, no pesticides, no antibiotics and that thing. And they do that rotation of the cows.
Rotation grazing, so they go around. And it got about 300 acres up there.
Yeah, they do. And they, move the cattle around, so they're eating what's naturally growing in their fields.
So the grass and all has an ability to come back and not be grazed down totally. So it keeps the land from eroding and all kind of great things with rotational grazing.
And they have a couple gifts. One is a $50 gift card because they have a roadside market there. You can use the $50 to buy anything in their roadside market. And they also have a really neat thing, is a $500 gift certificate for 6 hours for up to 75 guests in their pavilion.
So it's a big place
It's
that
a
you can
big
come
place.
in, you can have a big party or
You can
whatever.
have weddings. A lot of people
Wow.
like weddings.
Yeah.
You can have...
That is a big thing these days, is
on a
having a
farm.
wedding at a farm.
Yeah, they really like that. But you could have a club meeting, you could have any kind of meeting under there, birthday parties, family reunions. So it's a $500 value. So that's a really awesome gift from Walker Century Farms, and we really thank them for that. The next one.
Oh, McCaskill's, yeah. let's hope
My
McCaskill
favorite,
Farm.
of course, last spring, I actually got the lap blanket. But these are lap blankets.
Oh, I
from
love to sit around the fireplace. And,
last night, I was in a
my.
rocking chair with this
Yeah.
wrapped around me. It's just perfect size
Oh.
to wrap yourself
You
up
know,
in. and
most
it's
of them are too
beautiful.
short. It's for me, I have to keep
No,
pulling them down.
these are nice size. These are really nice. I
That's
tell you,
good.
I enjoyed it. But she is wonderful and always donates a lap blanket. That's a really pretty color. It's like a peachy gray. So it's a really pretty color this year.
And up next, I think, is Thus Far Farms.
Thus Far Farm.
That should, thus far, that means they've come thus far.
It says it's a sustainable family homestead in Oconee County. Bill and Mary McKinn brought the 64-acre farm in 2012 and brought it back into the family. The farm raises animals, crops, grandchildren as naturally as possible. There is a farm stand open June to September. They have eggs available. They have all kinds of animals there for you to see. But the real nice thing is they have farm stays. In other words, they have little cabins. What are they called? Little houses is what they're called. They have cabins, tents, RV sites, and what they're offering tonight is a $160 two-night stay off the grid.
Yeah, and a tiny house. You know, that's the big thing these
And
days.
there's not standard electricity. Everything's done by battery, so you do have refrigerator and that, but it's not your normal
Most
electricity.
likely solar and things like that.
Yeah, they
just
use
do
other
things.
options. But that's a great place if you want a primitive camp or camp. You just call them and talk to them. They have lots of different ways that you can camp.
Sound like you can have fun on the farm and be able to stay off grid.
Right, and you can learn how to gather eggs and have your family learn a lot about farm life. I'm sure they'll help you they'll let you help them with the chores if you want to do that too.
Okay, that sounds like
sure.
fun, really. You get out and feed the animals and all.
Right.
Yeah, and I think up next is Cityscape Winery, another winery.
Yes, it's a winery up in Pelzer. In fact, a few weeks ago, we had 30-some people who had a wine tasting with cheese there. It was wonderful. They do a really nice job. They have some unique wines that they produce on their farm as well. And they're offering $78 wine tasting for up to 6 people.
So you bring your
with the
friends
local-
in and you just have
and you get a souvenir glass
a
with it.
little party.
And we sampled it a couple weeks ago, and they do a really nice job. They have quite a few wines for you to sample. And it was just a really nice setting. And they're doing a lot of weddings out there as well.
That's why
And
a
they
lot
have
of
some
people like to
animals.
go
They
to
have some goats, too.
those vineyards like
Those
that.
little goats are so cute.
I bet
And
so.
you can get your passport stamped there if you make it up there for a wine tasting. And you can go, you don't have to buy the package to go visit and do a wine tasting as well.
Okay.
But this package would be a lot of fun.
So, folks, you need to get online and bid on these different items. Just go to scetvbidonline.org and bid on all these different products. And we'll have a lot more later, Miss Jackie.
Yes, we will. Thank you,
All
Tony.
right. Right now, we're going to go back over to Miss Katie and see what's happening in the chat room.
Thank you, Tony. We've got 13 people in the chat room right now, and we are chatting about the online auction. We had a couple people ask how to get onto the auction, so just a reminder one more time, you can go to scetvbidonline.org or check out our Facebook page where you can find a link to the auction. When you get here, come down to the bottom left-hand corner and click on SC Agritourism, as seen on Making It Grow, and you can see the items that are being chatted about on the show today, as well as a few others. And be sure to come back and check every day because some of these deals are going to change. Every weekday we'll have a deal of the day from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Bids starting at $1, and you can bid on those throughout the day as many times as you want. And tomorrow's deal of the day is going to be a $150 gift card to Frank's Car Wash. So be sure to go on, check that out, and see what the other deals are throughout the week. Now we are going to head back over to Teresa and Susie to learn more about some of the items up for auction.
Thanks, Katie. I'm sort of missing my friends in the chat room this evening, but excited to have the opportunity to highlight all of these products that were generously donated by Specialty Food Association members. So, Susie, I think we should jump right in.
Why not? All right, our first basket is from Burnt & Salty.
They were on the show just a few months ago, I think.
Correct. And Chef Bob Cook and his partner Chris Miller, she is a Navy veteran. They make an interesting little pair for business. And they're a condiment sauce company.
It has an Asian flair, right? So they sort of have a theme for all their products.
Yes, he developed each of the sauces with an Asian influence, definitely. And the little characters that they have on the bottles give it a definite brand.
It sure does. Now, this basket in front of us has an assortment of both their products and then some from other Specialty Food Association members, and we have about a $60 value here. Let's talk about some of the products.
Okay, well, from the other people, we have Bull's Bay Salt Works and Red Clay Hot Pepper Sauce.
All right, and with their sauces, I remember the dragon eggs, which is their take on deviled eggs. So which one of these sauces would we use?
The Korean mustard.
Very interesting. So I kind of always envision people going out to the grocery store and saying, how can I get some dragon eggs? If folks would like ideas, you know, maybe we're not familiar with this kind of Asian-themed condiments, I understand Chris and Bob have provided some recipes?
They have, and they're also working on developing a dragon farm.
Oh, very good. Oh, I definitely want to go there.
For the dragon eggs.
Sounds like How to Train Your Dragon or
That's
something
right.
like that.
Now, he has basically four sauces. He has the coconut suka vinegar, which makes a wonderful coleslaw, and he pickles a lot of vegetables and shrimp with it. And those recipes are on the website, burntandsalty.com. He has the chili glaze and the Korean mustard, and also they make a spicy Korean mustard.
Neat, and included in this gift basket are some chopsticks, so maybe we're going to make something we can eat with those.
And a fortune cookie.
And a fortune cookie. I already know what it says. It says you should bid high and bid often on these items.
Very cool.
They are a really interesting couple, and we were excited to have them on the show a few months ago, and I can't wait to see what kind of bids come in for this particular basket. But you know what? This is not the only item we have.
That's true. We have four other ones.
And
thank you for their donations, guys.
Oh, definitely. And moving on, we have a very large basket from Faithful Foods.
Heidi Black in Columbia. And Heidi's company has over 156 products, I believe. And
Oh,
she
my
is
goodness.
continuously working on more.
It looks like she might have tried to pack 100 and something items into that basket.
It's close. It's pretty heavy.
Now, one of the things that really intrigues me, I can see, now our viewers at home can't see, but the label on this one says it's a bagel blanket. What exactly is a bagel blanket?
Well, a bagel blanket is to be made into a spread to go over your breads. A gourmet spread for your breads.
I see. So I was imagining something that we're going to wrap, but if we think of a spread, it's kind of going to go on top, just like you put a blanket on top of you, so we can add to the deliciousness of the bagel and keep it warm if it gets cold.
That's right. And I swear I couldn't even begin to name all the products.
And dips. She's famous for dips. Now, when I think about that, I think about an appetizer, but she has some dessert dips as well.
She has some dessert dips, and they are quite popular and a great item, you know, if you have to make a quick dessert for some kind of function, church, funeral, any of those things. And I think you pretty much just add sour cream and or cream cheese. And there are, I think, 6, 7, maybe 8 different flavors, and they are usually served with vanilla wafers, graham crackers, or fresh slices of fruit.
Oh, that makes sense. I was like, well, what would you eat a dessert dip on? But that sounds really good, and something unique that maybe you would really highlight to your party guests your skills if you had a dessert dip, I think.
That's true. And if you're not a big sweet eater and just want a tiny bit, then you just take one or two, and you don't have a whole giant piece of whatever you were going to get, maybe cheesecake or pecan pie or something like that.
That's right.
But she has grits, all kind of rice mixes, biscuits, waffles, pancakes. She's just got everything.
What an incredible value. I mean, that gift basket, I think we're listing it as $150 value. Seems like it's worth even more in my books.
Well, that may be a little on the short side. She even includes spoon. A wooden spoon.
There you go. So you've got something to serve it with, or maybe if you're like me, just need to sneak a bite while you're preparing it, so you can use that
I think
spoon
you would
for
be
that.
very well tempted to do it. She has shrimp and grits, jams, jellies.
You name
relish.
it, she's got it. And I'm not sure if our viewers at home can see, but even the basket has the South Carolina theme. We've got our state symbol with the palm tree on there.
That's right, and she also has the Carolina Clemson and the rice mix.
Oh, perfect. So it can meet your gift-giving needs no matter whether you're a Clemson or a Carolina fan.
That's true.
Now remember that when you support SCE-TV through the bid online auction, you're not only supporting Making It Grow, but all of the other quality program. For example, tomorrow night at 7 p.m., SCE-TV will be airing a program about sea level rise narrated by Clemson's own Patrick McMillan. Watch a few highlights now that might pique your interest for tomorrow.
People are past the point of being interested in the debate of whether climate change is real or not. They just say, I want somebody to do something about this.
And you can debate all day long whether it's man-made or not. That is actually not the point.
It's amazing how few people want to talk about climate change. They want to totally dismiss it.
The climate in the long term can have an impact on human health.
What do we save? Who do we save? Do we save these wonderful national monuments? Do we save the culture? Do we save the people?
If we look just at the environment without looking at the economic and social structure, we're missing two parts of a very important equation.
Businesses are just as exposed to climate change as individuals, as communities, as the environment.
But we really need to focus on our vulnerable populations, our elderly, our disabled, our economically challenged. We know they're our most at-risk population. We just know that.
Can big problems be solved in the present political environment? And the answer, unfortunately, is I don't know.
But the bottom line is that what is undeniable here, what is undeniable is that sea level has risen and it is rising faster than it was.
The climate change issues that a place like Tybee Island are going to face in the future are really no different than the ones that they've been facing for as long as they've been there, which is these barrier islands of sand are dunes that move around. And once you build roads and houses and infrastructure on them, you tend to want to stabilize that sand dune. And they've done all manner of stabilization over the years, groins, jetty, riprap, pumping sand and renourishment seems to be the main choice now. But this is just an ongoing process. And with sea level rise, it's just going to have to continue, and it's going to have to keep up, and the infrastructure on the island is going to have to keep up. The roads are going to have to be raised or a bridge made if you want to maintain the community and the economy of a vulnerable barrier island.
When you're talking about climate change and sea level rise, there is a really a direct effect on our groundwater systems here in the coastal community. And the Chatham County and coastal Georgia area, even portions of Florida and whatnot, we pull our drinking water from the ground, from the Floridan aquifer as a whole. Huge system and highly pristine system. So when you start to see, as behind us, the Savannah River, which is directly synced up with where we're pulling our groundwater system, you start to, over time, you will possibly see an impact, of climate change, higher waters, higher tides, and that water is going to push further up the Savannah River, basically. And then you can possibly see an impact on your drinking water systems.
Several of the surface water intakes in the Wynyard Bay area are actually in play when you look at the current projections of sea level rise, which would ultimately mean that if you have any type of saltwater intrusion, you would lose a good quantity of your current freshwater supply. Now that within itself may be tenuous. When you couple that to the population growth, that becomes not just a passing concern, but a serious concern to lose any access to fresh water supplies.
Lives and livelihoods are at stake. So when you think about the fishing industry, for example, if we lose this barrier protection of our salt marshes, the salt marshes themselves are nurseries for all manner of species that sustain the fishing community and sustain human health and consumption.
For the whole country, fisheries are worth $200 billion and employ 1.7 million people. So when these fisheries start to change and move out of the region and take that economic impact with them, it affects our local communities that are involved in not just the fishermen, but the restaurant trade, tourism, and other aspects as well.
Wow, what a great source of information about sea level rise. Tune in tomorrow at 7 to watch Sea Change, where you'll see diverse perspectives about the impacts of sea level rise throughout South Carolina and Georgia. And if you want to know ways that you can impact water, like water quality, check out the SC Waterways fact sheets on HGIC. You'll see lots of ways that you can have an impact on stormwater pollution, one of the largest impacts to our water quality throughout the state. Now let's learn some more about some of these items up for auction. We're going to go over to Tony and Jackie.
Well, thanks, Katie. Miss Jackie, what farm or agritourism spot is up next?
Now we've got one of South Carolina's oldest family farms, and that's Denver Downs Farm in Anderson.
I think one of those folks went to Clemson with me when I was
they
there.
all went to Clemson.
Yes, I think we were there together.
But their big time is usually the fall when they have their pumpkin patch, their corn maze. But they have donated this beautiful basket, and I'll tell you some of the things in it. They have peach cobbler, they have salad dressing, they have a South Carolina mug, a magnet, of course a little rubber ducky for their duck races. They have a pig nose for the pig. I know you wanted to. I think Susie wanted to wear it too. Sweet Fire pickles. They have this book is It's Night Night Little Tiger, and it's actually signed by the authors of the twins. I don't know if you went, they were probably younger than you.
They were younger
than me. The twins, yeah. They wrote this book, and it is autographed copy of the book. It's a cute little bedtime story. Of course, it has to do with Clemson Tigers. There's a beautiful little bib for small children, and there's also a Clemson, it looks like handkerchief in here. One of the things, you can get your passport stamp when you visit.
That's right, I always do that.
Now, they started something very unique. I think about a year ago, it's like a drive-in movie. They have like a 3-story drive-in movie screen.
Wow.
Where you go in carloads and you go and
those
they have
are
refreshments.
Times past. That just brings back all kind of memories.
Weekend of Thanksgiving, they're going to be doing the Polar Express. You can come in at 5:30. It goes till 9. I think it actually shows from 7 to 9. And then they're going to do it again December 16th. So you bring a carload, you get to come in and buy snacks and watch Polar Express.
Oh, wow. What to make a wonderful Christmas.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah,
Get
great.
Christmas started right.
Well, Miss Jackie, I think we've got up next, we've got the Benford Brewing Company. It's up near Lancaster.
Right.
And I just was in Lancaster the other day. If I'd have knew it was there, I could have dropped by.
I've been there several times to see Brian's operation, and it's not that I drink beer, I don't, but it's a really neat operation. It's very unique, Tony, because it's actually on a farm.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's a brewery, yes. But
so it's not one of these big, huge breweries.
It's actually, the
farm.
cows are right out there. They have this special spring water that is used to make the beer that makes it
They tell me
really
that's
unique.
what makes beer the best.
Yes, and Brian's expanding. He's growing so fast that he's expanding his operation. You'll find his beers in many local places, and he has quite a few things that he has donated again this time.
Now, this is something unusual. Tell us a little bit about this.
That's a man cave. That is Bob Doster stainless steel. So he's a famous stainless steel, obviously.
Artist.
There you go. And you'll see some really pretty things at the brewery that he has also made. But these are very popular for man cave. So of course you got some beer mugs, beer cups, or what are they called? Beer steins?
Mugs or whatever.
Glasses.
Yeah.
You got 3 shirts, I think.
Oh wow, look at these.
With their logo on it.
Yeah.
You've got some hats. So just everything you need for a man's cave except the beer. You can go talk to Brian about getting that as
All
well.
right. Well, I think up next is Lucky Acres Farm in this beautiful, beautiful.
It's called an infinity scarf.
Infinity
It goes
scarf.
all the way around.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to tie it up.
It's from alpacas.
Alpaca.
Well,
Yeah,
tell me a
Gloria
little bit
has
about
this-
that. I'm not a
Gloria
animal
has this
person.
wonderful, wonderful farm. They've got other animals, but the alpacas are adorable. And I like hers because the fleece from this alpaca, she puts a picture with all of her products of the alpaca that gave up the fleece.
This one's called Candy.
Candy.
That's
So
that's
that
neat.
way you know which alpaca gave up. You can visit your alpaca. You can wear your scarf over there and say, look what I got. But it's a wonderful place, and it's in Townville, and it's a small place. You can get your passport stopped, and you stop in and visit with Gloria, and she's a wonderful lady. She's got a good story of how they came to South Carolina and started their farm.
Well, Clemson has a wonderful fruit farm right out there on Lake Hartwell called the Mercer Farm over there on that side, right near Townville. And then right over, it's a beautiful place, wonderful. And then up next, I think, is
Christmas.
Is a Christmas tree farm.
Yeah, and you need, anybody who hasn't done this before needs to go to scfarmfund.org, put in Christmas, and find a Christmas tree farm near you, where you can go out, pick your Christmas tree, cut it yourself. It's a lot of fun. Now, it Wright's
There's a tremendous shortage of Christmas trees this year, so everybody needs to be out.
You can go cut one out.
That's right.
But Wright's Christmas Tree Farm is really special. It's in Ward, South Carolina, and you just don't, what do you say, go and hit and cut your tree and leave. No, it's a whole day of fun when you go to get your tree.
Tell me where Ward is.
Ward is out.
I think it's Saluda County.
Saluda, over
I think
near,
it is.
yeah, towards that way, towards Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, they have a fire pit for roasting marshmallows. They have tractic hay rides. They have great crafts. There's plenty of activities for the whole family to get in the spirit. And they'll stamp your passport. I keep hinting. And they'll stamp your passport.
That's right. You need to get that stamp.
So they have a wonderful gift certificate for $75 towards your tree. So if you want a huge tree, it'll pay part of it. If you get my size tree, it'll pay for the whole tree.
Wow.
So
I
that's
love
really
live Christmas. There's nothing better
I
than
did
Christmas.
2 years ago. I went and picked my own tree.
Oh.
And I didn't cut it. I made him cut it. But it was fun. It was really neat, and it's a hard thing to do because you have to
house smell
visualize it.
so good.
You have to visualize
Oh.
what's going to work in my house
Yeah.
because you get out there in a field of trees and they all look small, but they're not.
That's right. I'm glad I got a real tall house so I can have
Oh.
a real big Christmas tree. Well, up next is another place that I've actually been. It's Catooga Bell Farm.
Right.
I've
the top
actually
of the
been.
world.
It's up there in Long Creek.
Right.
Which up in the mountains, and it's just so beautiful.
They have a 138 working farm. It has a 270-degree view of rolling hills. I was there in the spring one time, and you got to be up there on top and see the mountains covered with snow, but it wasn't snowing where you were. Then I was here last spring, and you see all the flowering. It's just a gorgeous place to be.
And all the
You're
fruits
like on the
and
top
trees and all just growing.
They've
It's
got, I can't
beautiful.
remember how many varieties of fruit they have, but they also have disc golf course. They have cabin, Horseshoe Lake. They have observation circle for astronomers. They had a great big event for the eclipse. Of course, they had a total eclipse there. That was a big, but they have all kinds of stuff. And I want to tell you, the newest thing that Ed Land has done is his distillery. It is the first, Oconee County's first legal distillery. Then you notice it didn't say distillery, it says legal distillery.
Yes.
But he has he does it by small batches and high quality spirits, and you can tour it and you can taste the different spirits there. And that's new, it's 9 to 5 every day but Sunday. But you can go up there, and then the bistro is a wonderful place to eat. Oh my gosh, that's all farm to table, really fresh ingredients.
Oh, I got to have a meal up there, and it was beautiful scenery and a nice meal. Nothing better.
Could be better. But they have donated two different $25 gift certificates. You can use it in their store, their roadside market, or you can use it at the bistro for lunch. So you can do either or with that, and it's a beautiful place. If you have not been there, be sure to go. I think they're open till July 26th, and then they're closed for a couple months till the spring. So get up there now, or you'll have to wait until next spring.
Okay, up next is it's kind of an unusual thing for South Carolina, lavender.
It's growing and growing. I grew lavender at my house, but not in her scale. She's got a beautiful, beautiful field.
Yeah, lavender's a little difficult for us down in the low state.
I think they found newer varieties now that are working. But she's only been in business since 2014, and she's doing incredible stuff. She has things going on all the time up there.
So this is Southern Hills lavender.
Yeah, Mary is wonderful. They have a big, in early June, they have a U-Pick where you can go pick your lavender and lavender. You
it smells so wonderful and so beautiful.
So good.
It's beautiful.
She now has Feast in the Field, farm to table in the field. She's at all the farmers markets up that way. And the thing that I saw over here is that there's a couple recipes for lavender martini and lavender pork loin. So that also comes with a gift. And I never thought about cooking with lavender. I thought it was always something you smelled, or it was always
one of those
the
herbs. That's for sure.
But with that, there's a gift bag, and it includes the lavender, how do you pronounce that? Sachets.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yep.
A candle, lotion, soap, all kinds of things, all lavender. Like I said, there's a couple recipes in there if you're. Isn't that good?
Isn't that wonderful?
Oh, I just love fresh lavender. It's so beautiful. So that is for now. I think we'll come back later, talk about some more farms, right?
Yeah, and everybody get online and bid. South Carolina ETV bidonline.org. And look at these beautiful things. You need to bid now. And let's go back over to Katie and check out what's going on in the chat room.
Thank you, Tony. The conversation is going in the chat room. We've got 15 people in the chat room right now, and we've been all over the place talking about lots of different topics, but the general theme is how great South Carolina is. We've been talking about a lot of our favorite places throughout South Carolina, and if you love South Carolina, you're going to love the items up for auction on the online auction. In addition to those that you're seeing on the show tonight, there are lots of other items, so make sure you go over to the website and check that out at scetvbidonline.org. There are other things on there, not just the items that are on the show, including some vacations and wine tastings. And make sure you check back every day because some of those items are going to change with the daily deals. Now let's learn a little bit more about some of the items on the auction with Teresa.
Thanks, Katie. Well, earlier, Tony and Jackie mentioned one of the gift baskets with a pig nose, which is a perfect segue into our next item, which is Willie's Rubbins.
Willie's Rubbins. Susan and William Miller have it, and it's right out of Sumter, South Carolina.
Well, perfect, right here where we are.
Not too far from where we are.
Now, this is such a diverse basket. We have everything from something to wear to something to eat to something to grill with. I don't even know how you kind of lump it all into one category.
Well, first of all, no barbecue is complete without the famous hog dust spatula.
I see. So for the grill master at home, that is a must-have item.
Must have.
Very good. And there are some dry seasonings here. One was a cracker-tizer. Now, I had never heard of a cracker-tizer.
Cracker-tizer goes on your crackers to spice up your crackers.
Oh, well, that makes perfect sense.
And then you dip your crackers in the hog dip.
In the hog dip? Now, I need a little more explanation. What exactly is in hog dip?
Well, I think it's sour cream, maybe a little bit of mayonnaise, cream cheese, and they're Willie's hog dust.
Okay, well that sounds a little more appetizing. Hog dip, oh, I don't know, just the picture that came into my head was not so good. So going along with the kind of hog theme, there are pork rinds. Now, I have never seen microwavable pork rinds. What's unique about that?
Neither have I, but Susan told me that they are very, very popular at the college campuses. Not just for tailgate, but I think you just put them on a platter and pop them in the microwave and they pop up like popcorn.
I really want to open up that package to see because they must be sort of like freeze-dried and flat.
I would think, I haven't seen any, but it's definitely a unique product.
You think they'd be mad if we tore open the package? You wouldn't mind, right?
Well, whoever bid it on it might not appreciate getting an open package.
That's right. Even some pickles in the mix. Now, not traditional cucumber pickles.
No, well, actually, these are willy beans.
Willy beans.
Those are willy beans.
Like silly beans?
Silly beans, willy beans. I think they have several different pickled vegetables. I think they have pickled okra, pickled asparagus, and then several barbecue sauces and really, really, really good Bloody Mary mix. Really good.
We seem to have a theme going on. We had Bloody Mary wine with Jackie's group, and now we've got some Bloody Mary mix here. Now, this basket is valued at $100, and you know, it offers just such a diversity from everything, your appetizer to your grilling sauce to your snacking.
And a T-shirt that says "Smoke like a pork star."
I don't even have a comeback for that.
I don't think you could. They're pretty original.
Willie's,
they are an original
the
couple.
Name says that.
Yes.
Definitely. All right.
So
we're
get
gonna,
your hog dust now, gang.
I'm going to change gears from hog dust to coffee. So we're going to move from more of the things that are kind of edible to, in terms of that you eat it, to things that you drink.
That's right.
Okay. So we have a gift basket here from Iron Brew Coffee. Now, I don't imagine we grow the coffee here.
No. Iron Brew is located in Blythewood, and it's a pretty unique family business, and they import all the beans, and they have their own roaster and own packaging plant right out in Blythewood. It's a pretty nice operation, and I think they're very famous for their Carolina Classic. I've had some, and it's a real deep, rich coffee.
Okay, so they roast the coffee, and inside the basket, which is valued at $70, we have a few of the different coffees, coffee varieties that they offer. And what I'm curious about is there is a coffee snob mug in there. So I'm wondering,
it says coffee snob.
It does. Okay, so this is ideal for the coffee connoisseur if you have one of those that you need to give a gift for. I see we have a
tumbler.
Travel tumbler too, because you know you got to have your coffee wherever you are. I know our extension director drinks coffee from morning right through the end of the day, so I think this would be a great gift basket for him.
And a T-shirt.
And oh, I didn't even see that in there. So you can help advertise and support not only making it grow by purchasing, but you can support our local Specialty Food Association members by helping to get the word out. People might not know about Iron Brew Coffee. I had not heard of it before.
I think they do some commercial packaging for other companies, basically for gifts and things.
All right, so now coffee and tea are both known for their health benefits. They contain polyphenols, which have anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. So it's only fitting that not only do we have a coffee basket, but we also have a tea gift basket.
From Charleston Tea Plantation. It's a one-of-a-kind place.
You know, I have not visited, but you have got me so excited. I can't wait to find the time to get down. And it's on Wadmalaw Island?
Correct. And I was down there in October, and they are also a member of Jackie's Agritourism.
Fantastic. So not only can you support them by buying their products, but you can also go on to their farm, if you call, I guess, a tea plantation a farm.
Yes. It's a very beautiful place. I think they have 140 some odd acres of tea plants. And I think we have I think he has 9 different teas, and there's some ready to drinks. I know with his mint tea that he has an organic mint oil that he sprays it on the actual plant, and it's absorbed through the leaves.
Oh, okay.
It's tasty. They have a tea bar down there that is complimentary to the any of the tourists.
So that
and
way
when
you
I
can
was down
try
there,
it
there
out.
were very, very few South Carolina license plate in there. It is definitely a
tourist attraction.
It's a destination. It's the only place in North American continent that is growing tea.
Isn't that fascinating that most of the tea we drink is grown thousands of miles away in other countries when we have it growing right here, not too far away, down outside of Charleston. Now, for our folks at home that might be interested in, you may not know where tea comes from, it's actually a type of camellia. I asked Tony about it before the show. It's Camellia sinensis. So you may be enjoying some beautiful camellia blossoms right now, and the tea camellia actually has flowers as well, but they're much smaller than the blooms that you see out in the landscape. Now, Susie, we talked a little earlier, sweet tea is the hospitality beverage of South Carolina, and there's some kind of interesting trivia about Somerville and sweet tea. And
Somerville is the actual home of sweet tea.
I did not know that.
And then Charleston Tea Plantation teamed up with Somerville this past summer to break the Guinness Book of World Records for the largest sweet tea. I think it was 1,400 gallons.
Oh, my goodness.
They had a big party down there.
That is a lot of sweet tea. Well, I definitely have to put the Charleston Tea Plantation on my calendar, make time to go there. I think you showed me a photograph of a frog with a teacup, and so I think it's only fitting that I need to take a selfie with the frog and the tea.
He is on the bench on the front porch. He is a life-size metal frog, and he has his teacup. He's quite a character.
Goodness. Charleston Tea, so like Katie mentioned, we have some fantastic places in South Carolina. And speaking of Katie, let's go back over there and see what the chatters are talking about.
Thank you, Teresa. We are still chatting about how great South Carolina is. That's just how great it is. I want to review a few of the ways our viewers can find the online auction one last time before I'm done for the night. So make sure that you head over to the Making It Grow Facebook page. Give us a like while you're there so you get updates from us throughout the week, not just on Tuesdays. And you can click there on the online auction link, which will bring you to the main auction page. You can also find this page by going to scetvbidonline.org. When you get there, scroll the whole way down to the bottom, click on the Making It Grow icon at the bottom left, and that will bring you to all of the South Carolina agribusiness items where you can find the items we've been talking about tonight on the show, as well as lots of other items that prove just how great South Carolina is. Now let's hear about some more items with Tony.
Well, thank you, Katie. We got a few more wonderful items. We're going to try to show you a few more great agritourism spots in South Carolina, and I think up next is Fox's Farm.
And it's called a Farm Load of Fun, and they have donated a $160 birthday package. Mike Fox's Farm is in Lexington, South Carolina. They have horse rides, hay rides, a playground, petting zoo with llama, sheep, goats, cow, pig, donkeys, rabbits, chickens, turkeys, ducks, peacocks, and more, to ensure the family will have a farm load of fun, specializing in birthday parties, school and team events, and always welcoming individual families to Fox Fun if you want to visit often. And they're right here in the Midlands in Lexington County, and it's a $160 birthday package. That would be a hit for any child that can have a birthday package.
And right in the middle of the state where anybody can go from all around the state and take their kids out to a farm on their birthday. That just kind of leads their children into a new future there.
That's right.
With you know, the fast-paced life of the day, it just kind of gives them a new adventure in life.
That's right. Now the next one is J&J Family Farm up in Clover, and I've been there a couple times, and it's amazing they're growing mushrooms up there.
Oh yeah, that's great. All different types like shiitakes. And
they have them, shiitake, oyster. I don't even know what some of these are. Wine cap. But the family tour is a $120 experience. It's 1.5 hours, up to 6 guests, and it's appropriate for all ages. They have outdoor mushroom cultivation class.
That's very
so
unusual in South Carolina, is mushroom
is.
growing. I've seen a lot of it in Florida and different places, but South Carolina, that's neat.
And they have walking trail, fishing pond, wildlife habitat exploration, geocaching, disc golf, or you can just relax on the swing. Guests are encouraged to wear comfortable clothing for hiking. You'll get a little bit about farm safety because they are GAP certified, which means they good agriculture practices to keep everything healthy. And they've just been there since 2011, where they bought 63 acres of unmanaged woods, and today they're a certified tree farm. They grow sustainable, certified South Carolina products, honey, veggies, herbs, fruits, timber. So if you are interested in that farm tour, you'll really have a good time. I've been up there. I've seen that beautiful place they have. They're part of Ag and Art tours that happen in June around the state. So J&J Family Farm in Clover.
So up next is a farm down in my area of the
that
state.
we know a lot
down in
here on Making It Grow. They're out here a
Lake
lot.
City, South Carolina, Moore Farm and Botanical Gardens.
And there's some of the stuff they've donated right there in front. We have a couple T-shirts. We have pint glasses from their beer fest. Is that what it's called?
Yep,
and
that's
there's
the-
wine
that's right.
stroll to wine glasses. We're doing a lot of wine drinking and beer drinking on this show tonight.
Yeah. That's
And
right.
they have koozies. And you'll also get plants and 2 classes. You can go and pick the classes you want to take.
Oh yeah, I've
You just
done
go to their
classes down there for Moore Farms, and it's great
Well,
to
you
go
pick
in
the
there
ones you want.
and be able to talk to people about growing plants and all, and they're just and you get to see that beautiful garden.
Yeah,
My goodness,
gosh.
I mean, it's
And
one
any
of the
time of year,
best
that
private
garden.
gardens I know of in the country.
And every season there's something different. So you could go anytime and see some different plants growing at Moore Farms Botanical Garden. But those gift certificates, you do have to reserve your spot, even though you don't have to pay for it. So be sure to go online and reserve what time you want to go. But that is a $160 gift package right there. So.
Okay, up next is Happy Cow
We love Happy
Creamery,
Cow.
which is up near Clemson, Pelzer, up in that area in the upstate. Great place, milk, wonderful milk products. And
Chocolate milk, whole
cows
milk.
just love it up
They're
there in
happy.
those hills. They're very happy in those
They
areas.
are happy. And Tom and Linda have the wonderful dairy up there, and this is the basket that they have donated, and it's $50, a hoop cheese box. But now there's a chocolate, half-gallon chocolate and white milk, whole milk. What you do is these are empty. Okay, they would spoil by the time someone got them.
That's right.
So you just have to take these empty cartons up to Happy Cow, and they will fill them. Well, they'll give you a fresh carton. But also in there, you'll have squash pickles, mellow mango chutney, artichoke relish, green tomato relish, hot and sharp German mustard, pickle, okra, and a lot of chocolates that I think Teresa was messing with. So there might be one missing, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I hope
and
not.
there's some cow milk soap. I've heard of goat milk, but I haven't heard
And
of cow
here's
milk.
some okra, pickled okra. Oh my goodness.
And then there's also some Himalayan salt in there. So it's a good place. You can get your passport stamped, and you can go and see all the beautiful happy cows just hanging out up there.
And the next place is L.W. Paul History Farm down in Conway. It's right near our Clemson Extension office, and personally, I got to visit there before. I've
So
been
have
there.
I. I've been there.
It's great.
It
I got
is.
to drive
I didn't know what a
mule.
shotgun house was until I went there.
That's right.
There's shotgun house.
There's shotgun house. I got to drive a mule there. Her name was Minnie. Granddaddy would never let us drive his mules, or never let us handle his mules, because that was his livelihood. So I never did get to drive mules until I got down there to L.W. Paul Farm, and I got to get behind a mule and got to go out through the field, and I think the mule knew more than I did. Right. So, and she just took me right through, and it was a great experience.
But throughout the year, they have different special days, and it's always free out there to go. But special days like tobacco and grinding the grist.
Yeah, and they do cane too. They
do
grind the cane and make the syrup and all that.
Right. And it's a neat place. You just
brings
have
back
to.
memories.
And they also stamp passports. But their gift that they are donating is a $80 gift donation, 100% cane syrup, candied cinnamon pickles, strawberry cider lice soap, crochet dishcloth, The Wreath of Nothing, Rural Southern Life Through the Lens of William Van Aken Green, sweet onion tomato dressing, individual membership to the Horry County Museum, and the L.W. Paul Living History Farm. But if you haven't been there, even if you don't bid on this or get this, please go visit. It's worth, when you're going out towards Myrtle Beach, stop by. It's open Monday through Friday. I think it's 9 to 5 or 9 to 4.
Oh, wow.
And we have one more.
One more left. Carolina Pride Pastures.
And they are one of my favorites. I love to go visit the alpacas. They have school field trips out there.
I love the little
I love the nesting ball. They're filled with alpaca, and you hang it out in your tree, and the birds take it, and they build their nests. And she even gives you a whole bag of replacement. This is a bun for your hair. Well, not your hair, not my hair, but someone with long hair. These are little children's socks. These are big children's socks. There's a
Wow.
cup. There's some yarn. There's some alpaca fertilizer, which you can figure out what that is. And there's other things. They shear their alpaca once a year, and then they make them into all this products.
Oh, wow.
They're sweet animals, and they also will stamp your passport there as well. So if you have not been, it's just up in Newberry, so it's not far, Newberry County. In Palmaria, you can go visit Lever Farms, it's down the street, all kinds of different places up there. So that is a donation from Carolina Pride Pastures.
Well, thank you, Miss Jackie, for being here, and I'm
Oh,
just
I'm so
enjoying
happy
all
to be
these
here.
different things and seeing all these pictures of these wonderful farms. It's really great. We're going to have to pitch it on back over to Teresa so they can say goodbye to.
Well, thank you, Tony.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Wow, what a great show. Thanks so much to Katie for filling in the chat room this evening. Thanks to our Specialty Food Association and agritourism members. Bid high, bid often. We'll see you right here next week.
Making It Grow is brought to you in part by Santee Cooper, South Carolina's state-owned electric and water utility. More information on green power and energy conservation programs online at santeecooper.com. The South Carolina Department of Agriculture, certified SC Grown, helps consumers identify, find, and buy South Carolina products. McLeod Farms in McBee, South Carolina. This family farm offers seasonal produce, including over 22 varieties of peaches. McCall Farms, helping South Carolina grow with brands such as Bruce's Yams, Peanut Patch, Glory Foods, and Margaret Holmes. FTC Diversified, a proud part of your local communities, providing communication, entertainment, and security. Additional funding provided by International Paper and South Carolina Farm Bureau Federation and Farm Bureau Insurance.